Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel where we break down complex tech in a way that actually makes sense. Today we are diving into something huge that just dropped from Meta, Llama 4. This isn't just another AI update, Meta is calling this the beginning of a new era of natively multimodal AI innovation. That's a fancy way of saying this AI can actually understand both text and images right out of the box. But is it really that good? Let's find out together. So first things first, Llama 4 isn't just one model, it's actually a family of 3 different AI models, each with its own superpowers. Llama 4 Scout, think of this as the smart, nimble one. It has 17 billion active parameters, which are basically the AI's brain cells, and can remember absolutely wild amount of information, up to 10 million tokens of context. Well, to put that in perspective, that's like being able to read, remember, and discuss the entire Harry Potter series, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, all at once. Meta is calling this context window nearly infinite, and honestly, they are not far off. So now let's have a look at Llama 4 Maverick. This is the middle sibling with some serious muscle. It also has 17 billion active parameters, but with a special twist. It's using something called a mixture of experts. So that's essentially an architecture with 128 experts inside. So I'll explain what it actually means in a minute. It can handle up to 1 million tokens of context, which is still absolutely massive. And the last one in line is Llama 4 Behemoth. So as the name suggests, this is the giant of the family. So they're talking about 2 trillion total parameters. To put that in perspective, that's like having the brain power of thousands of earlier AI models combined. The catch? Well, it's still been trained and isn't available for download yet. So Meta says they've been using it to help train the smaller models like Maverick and Scout. And it's apparently beating top models like GPT 4.5 on science and math problems. Now you might be wondering, we've seen AI models before, so what makes these so special? Let me break it down for you. First of all, they're natively multimodal. So previous AI generations were primarily built for text. Llama 4 models are designed from the ground up to understand both text and images together. So what does it actually mean for you? Imagine showing Llama 4 a picture of your messy garage and asking, how should I organize this? So the AI can actually see what you're dealing with, notice the tools, sport equipment, the holiday decorations, and give you specific advice based on what it sees. So that's the power of native multimodality. Secondly, they use a team of experts approach. So this is actually where it gets really cool and interesting. Llama 4 uses something called a mixture of experts architecture, or MOE. So instead of using its entire brain for every question, it has specialized experts that activate only when needed. So think of it like this. If you asked me a question about cooking pasta, I wouldn't need to activate the part of my brain that knows how to fix cars, right? So Llama 4 works exactly the same way. So when you ask it a question about history, it might activate its history experts while keeping the coding experts dormant. So for example, Llama 4 Maverick has about 400 billion total parameters, but only uses about 17 for any specific task. So this makes it much more efficient. It's kind of having a massive team of specialists, but only calling in the ones you need for each job. Thirdly, Scout's context window is just mind-blowing. Remember that 10 million token context window I mentioned? That's not just a big number, it's a potential revolution in how we use AI. Let me put it in perspective. So most AI chatbots you've used before can remember maybe a few pages or a few dozen pages of text at once. For example, ChatGPT could handle about 128 tokens, which was impressive at the time. Gemini pushed it to about 2 million, but 10 million, that's an entirely different league. So what could you do with this? You could fit an entire research paper archive and have it find patterns across thousands of studies. Have it analyze every quarterly report your company has ever published. Let it read an author's entire collection of works to analyze their writing style. Process mountains of legal documents to find specific clauses or contradictions. The possibilities are genuinely game-changing. Whether this massive context window actually works well in practice is something we'll have to test. but potential is just enormous. Beyond technical specs, there are some real-world advantages that make Llama 4 interesting. Unlike many top AI models that are locked behind APIs, you can actually download Llama 4 Scout and Maverick and run them yourself. Developers can modify them, customize them, and build on top of them. So this openness is huge for innovation. You can download the models on llama.com and Hugging Face. These models were trained on data covering over 200 languages, making them much more globally accessible than some earlier models. These models are designed to run efficiently. Llama 4 Scout can reportedly run on a single high-end GPU, which is pretty impressive given what it can do. Now, it wouldn't be a major AI release without some controversy, right? Let's talk about some of the questions and criticisms surrounding Llama 4. The benchmark drama. Llama 4 Maverick scored really high in LM Arena leaderboard. This is a place where AI models are ranked based on human preferences. But here's the catch. The version what did so well was a special version optimized specifically for these tests. It was designed to give longer, more enthusiastic answers, often with emojis, which humans tend to prefer in blind tests. While Meta did disclose this, some critics felt it was a bit misleading, since it doesn't represent the standard model's abilities. As for the coding capabilities, while Maverick does well on some coding tests, it falls behind competitors like Gemini 2.5 Pro and Claude 3.7 and others. So if you are specifically looking for a coding assistant, the results seem mixed. So now let's talk about this 10 million context window. Is it even real? Well, some AI experts have questioned how effectively Scout can actually use its massive context window. The models were only trained with context lengths up to 256,000 tokens. So there are questions about how well it handles truly massive inputs. So Meta has shown some needle in a haystack tests, but will need more thorough evaluations. So in fact, when looking at the long context deep comprehension benchmark, we can see that both Llama 4 models are at the bottom of the list. So essentially what it shows is the more input tokens you provide, the less reliable results you get. So this 10 million context window becomes kind of irrelevant in this case. Some users have found Llama 4's default conversational style to be a bit too much. It can be overly enthusiastic and emoji heavy. Great for social media, maybe not so ideal for serious research. Of course, the beauty of open source models is that you can tune them however you like and get rid of this unnecessary style of communication, but still it requires a bit of time and prompting to do that. What about licensing? While it's open, there are still some restrictions. For example, companies with over 700 million users need special licenses, and you have to include Llama in the name of derivative models. Not quite as open as some would prefer. So when looking at their polyglot benchmark results, we can see that Llama 4 Maverick even lost to other open source competitors such as Qwen and DeepSeek by a margin. So it looks like these LM Arena results and other internal benchmarks have been actually achieved unfairly or by cheating. As per some sources, this has actually led to some resignations in Meta. So I guess we're going to have more clarity in the coming days on what's the current situation is like with the model itself, with benchmarks, and with the people who actually stepped down from their positions in Meta. So what's the final verdict on Llama 4? Is it the AI revolution Meta is claiming? The truth is, it's impressive and imperfect, like most technological leaps forward. The massive context window, native multimodality, and mixture of experts architecture are genuinely exciting innovations that could enable entirely new applications. So at the same time, we need to approach the hype with a healthy dose of skepticism. The benchmark controversy, questions about the context window's real-world effectiveness, and some mixed performance reviews suggest it's not universally superior to competitors. So what's undeniably positive is that Meta is pushing open-weight AI forward in a big way. All these models become available to more developers and researchers. We'll see innovative applications we haven't even imagined yet. I'm particularly excited to see how the community builds on these models. The fact that powerful AI is becoming more accessible, more capable, and more efficient is a win for innovation overall. What do you think about Llama 4? Are you excited about any particular feature? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you found this breakdown helpful, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. My name is Puff, stay weird, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next one.